I would love to hear your opinion about the COVID PCR test.
I'm one of those who know Kerry Mullis personally. We had he's the inventor of the
Yeah,
PCR test.
yes.
Kerry Mullis, everybody knows him. He got the Nobel Prize. We had discussions about the PCR test, and he said very clearly it's not suitable to diagnose disease with it. It's much too sensitive, because if there's one piece of RNA or DNA, it might react positive. That does not mean that the patient who is suffering from a pneumonia, that this result is causally linked to the disease. That's the big misassumption what people are seeing at the moment. The modern virologists like Christian Drosten work only with PCR, and they have no idea about the clinic. They are no doctors, they are virologists, they have no idea for clinical patients. That's what Drosten admits himself. Well, I'm not a doctor. I have no idea about clinics. These virologists only make the invoice without the host. The host has immune system against the viruses and whatever they measure with their PCR tests. So the whole thing is a PCR pandemic, nothing else. 10 years ago, an infectious disease specialist thought she might see pertussis epidemic.
The whooping cough, yes, yeah.
The whooping cough, yeah, because there was somebody was whooping, and then they thought, well, there might be beginning of the whooping cough epidemic. And then they measured with PCR the whole personnel in the clinic, and they found a lot of positives. They thought, well, that's the beginning of the epidemic, and they tested and tested and tested and tested, and then they gave vaccine and they gave antibiotics. In the end, they tried to find Bordetella pertussis, which is the microbe which
Yes,
actually causes it, and they found it in no patient.
really.
And then they said,
Gosh,
well, this was an epidemic that never was. That was the result of,
yeah,
of this.
it's amazing.
It was written in the New York Times, but this article, you can find it, the epidemic that never was.